Hi everyone, I'm Denise.
And I'm Ron, and together we are D&R Travel, and we'll be doing our review of the NCL Escape.
Right after this.
1002. This better in the Bahamas.
Okay, as we said, we want to talk about some of the things that we liked and some of the things that we didn't like so much on our sailing on the NCL Escape. One of the first things that we want to talk about was embarkation and how that process went. And what do you think about that?
Well, we came in, we sailed out of New York. So when we came in, we basically gave our bags to the porter, and gave him a little tip, took our bags, and then bags were done, and then we just went right in. You get your tags and you put them on your back so they know where, what room and you're supposed to be at. So we just gave our bags up, which kind of felt weird. Just our bags were gone
on the street.
On the street,
in New York.
Like were they going to get on the ship or not? I wasn't sure. So then we dropped them and then we went inside. Pretty long line.
It was a pretty long line, but it moved okay. The process was easy. We just had to show our IDs and stuff, and then we were all on our way to get on the ship. So the lines we had a little bit of a wait, but it wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't horrible. Enough space. I just hate waiting on lines when you're on top of people and stuff. So the lines were they made them wide, so it wasn't so super tight. Like sometimes you go in the airport and the lines are so narrow, where you don't have really space to go left and right and stuff. So it was pretty good. No really complaints. No complaints there with embarkation.
Okay, so we sailed out of New York City, and we were supposed to go to Port Canaveral, Stirrup Cay, and Nassau Bahamas. So
itinerary.
For our itinerary, that's what was scheduled. Okay, so we sailed out of New York City. We're supposed to go to Port Canaveral in Orlando, Stirrup Cay, which is Norwegian's private island, and Nassau Bahamas.
Right. And so the first we sailed out. Like you saw in one of our other videos, it was kind of dreary when we left.
A little rainy, foggy.
Rainy, cloudy, foggy, all that good stuff. And we went down. First stop, we got there 2 days later. Took 2 days, and we got to Port Canaveral in Orlando. And it's somewhere we've been 100 million times. So we didn't do much with that port stop. We got off. We mostly stayed on the ship, and then we got off, and we went and got a lift.
And we got another card for the camera.
Right. We had to pick up. We wanted to get off and get some cash for tipping, and we wanted to get a card for the camera. So we wound up doing that. Then we got the lift back, to the boat, to the ship, and got right back on. We was probably off like an hour,
maybe, yeah.
And we got there. What time did we get there on time? Because we were supposed to get there like 1 or 3, like 1. We were supposed to get there at 1 o'clock and stay until 9 because people were getting off and going like Disney and stuff like that, which is about an hour away from the port. So what's the NASA thing over there?
The Kennedy Space Center?
Cape Canaveral.
Cape Canaveral.
So that's closer. So that's a good thing to do.
Excursion option to do when you're at that port.
When you go to that port, because that's pretty close. Disney's a good distance, and anything could happen, and you can miss getting on the ship again. So Port Canaveral, Cape Canaveral at Port Canaveral is a good option. So what else?
Well, as far as the itinerary, we ended up not being able to go to Stirrup Cay because I guess there was too much wind and you have to be tendered from the ship to
which we weren't told. We didn't even know that, actually. That was our first time going on Norwegian and actually doing the Norwegian island. And nowhere it ever said that it was a tender island.
Until we found out that after being on the ship.
So we found out we couldn't go there because it was too rough.
Yeah, so we ended up not going there, and we went straight to Nassau. We were there overnight and then left as scheduled the following day.
Right, went straight to Nassau and stayed, overnight, which was cool. Kind of felt weird spending the night at a port, but we wound up staying on doing the footage with the water slide and stuff like that. Isn't that when we did that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we got off more so the next day. Met a cool driver, took us around Nassau and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. That part of the itinerary was cool. So after we were done at Nassau, we just sailed back up to New York. Another 2 days. So we had a lot of sea days. Didn't like that too much. We learned a lot of lessons from taking a cruise out of New York City.
Definitely.
And how long it takes to get to where you want to go. So if we ever do another one out of New York, it's going to be going north up to Maine,
Canada, New England.
New England, that area. So we'll never go south from there again. That's for sure.
All right. Next thing that we wanted to talk about was dining, in particular the buffet. It's called the Garden Cafe, and we ate in there a lot.
Yeah, the Garden Cafe was real cool. They had a nice selection, a lot of food, a lot of different things every night. It seemed like,
and it changed. There would be some things that would be there regularly, but there were different things every day, and we found ourselves eating there. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, different times, just because, and the food was really good. I mean, it was good, flavorful food, and so we enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I don't really like a lot of sweets, and I was eating cakes and ice cream and pies
Pastries.
And breads. I don't eat a lot of breads. I was buttering rolls and biscuits, and I don't eat that stuff. And for some reason, it tasted so good at their buffet. And what about the Manhattan Room?
Oh, the Manhattan Room. It's beautiful. We have pictures and video on a couple of our other our videos that we posted on YouTube. And it was just beautiful. The service was wonderful. Our waiter kept coming and changing our silverware and bringing us a different butter knife. I'm like, this is another butter knife. But the one thing that stands out with us was that we both got the Cesar salad.
Yeah, the Manhattan Room, it feels like a specialty dining venue, but it's not.
It's included.
It's actually included.
And if you go on that ship, you have to go. It's beautiful. It reminds me of something from Titanic or something.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. So
yeah, the set she said both had the Caesar salad as a start, and it was like a cracker crouton that they lay over top of it.
It was really thin, solid, almost looked like a graham cracker.
Yeah, it looked just
but
like
it was
a graham
really
cracker.
thin and had spice and stuff on it from like a crouton would.
Yeah, and we both like obliterated the salad. Like you go to a restaurant, you get the salad just as something to put in your mouth while you waiting on the food. I was almost like, give me another one of those salads, man. That salad was good.
It was good.
I was like, man, I know that was the best Caesar salad I think I've had in my life.
It was. We still talking about that Caesar salad.
Like, how can I recreate that? It was so good. It had just enough of the Caesar dressing on the salad. A lot of times you get a Caesar salad, you be wanting to hey, give me some more Caesar. It feels dry, but this was like perfect.
It was
perfect.
Was just
enough
and
of
it
everything.
had fresh grated
cheese.
Parmesan cheese on it, so
Yeah.
it was just really good. So if you
Caesar
guys get a chance to go on that ship, definitely go to the Manhattan Room and have that Caesar salad.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's on the other Norwegian ships too. The other in the class, they'll have the Manhattan Room, so should be about the same quality as well too.
Okay, one of the other places that we frequented on the ship was Oceans, and it's an Irish pub type venue, and it's included in your cruise fare, so there's no extra charge unless you get an alcoholic drink. But the food is included, and we ate there a lot. We had wings, and
Wings were good.
yeah, we both had wings. I think we had some nachos.
Yeah, you had the fish and chips one time. I've had the wings
Oh, I
a
had
couple
a
times.
burger from there too. It was
How was
really
the
good.
burger? I didn't taste it.
Yeah, it was really good. So, and it's above the atrium, so a lot of times you can hear what's going on in the atrium. They're sometimes playing games and things like that. So
Right.
it surrounds it. It's above it, and you can look down.
Yeah, I had some footage in our last video, one of our last videos, where I took some photos and a video of the group, the Golden Octaves. Really good, like an R&B Jamaican type group, reggae, but they were doing more contemporary stuff that day.
Yeah, they did
performed
some
a lot.
Motown stuff
And
one night.
Motown, yeah, some jazz kind of feel stuff. So they were really good. The lead singer was real good. It was a 3-piece. If you count the singer, you had a guy on bass, guitar, and you had a guy playing the keys. It was pretty good.
Right, they were really good.
But yeah, Oceans is also has a bar, and it has some video games,
Arcade stuff.
darts.
A bowling alley.
The bowling, was that part of Oceans?
Had the bowling
the
alley.
little
It
duck
has-
pins though, not the full bowling.
Right, it has 2 lanes in there. We played skee ball, basketball.
Yeah, I had a lot of the Papa shots, and I was playing those a lot. Did they have the Deal or No Deal arcade game in there too?
It was in there, yes.
Yeah, so they had a little arcade Deal or No Deal. We talked about Deal or No Deal before, and we actually went. They do a whole big Deal or No Deal kind of presentation, just like the TV show. They call somebody out the audience, and they get up there and they have a chance to win like $1,000, I think it was.
And then even though we weren't selected, because they call a number, we weren't selected to go up on stage, we still had cards that we had bought so that we could play along and you could potentially win some money. And
Yeah, we'll get into more of that in another video too, about the games and entertainment on the ship. But we also liked, because we did like Oceans. I think we both agreed Oceans was really, really good, food and entertainment wise. And so another thing we did, shot a little bit on it, was the slides, the water slides. What do you think about those?
Oh, they were awesome. They were you sit in a tube, you can hold onto the handles, and you go down. It's enclosed, but it has all those lights and things on it. You'll see in our video. If you haven't seen it yet, check that out. But it has the lights in it, and then there's a clear part of the tube. And like you said, we were in Nassau when we did the water slides the one day, and you could see the other ships going through that clear section of the tube.
Yeah, and it's 2. Each person has their own tube. When I initially went on, I thought it was gonna be like a double person tube, like the big ones that 2 people sitting at the same time.
Right.
But they didn't have that. They had the single tubes. So the first time we went in, I jumped right in, and I was spinning around
all over the place, legs
and
and
I forgot she was even getting on and got behind me, and then as I'm coming down, I shoot her coming through the tube. So I was like, oh, there she is, because you can really have 2 people in the tube at the same time. And one is even wide enough where you can almost pass the other person, they say. And then so we went back again, and this time I did it right, held the camera the right way.
forward.
Yeah. So and then we were holding hands, so I had no hands on the tube.
The
So I
inner
was
tube
like,
part.
yeah, my hands are just open and free. I got one hand on the camera and one hand on her, holding her, her hand, so we can slide down at the same time. And
It was
so
fun.
I was
It was a lot of
I
fun.
felt like I was gonna fly off any second, but it was mild, but it was still, entertaining, because they had another slide. What they called that one? You remember?
That was the racer or something where
No, ours was the racer, I think, or something loop or something. It's
aqua loop.
Yeah, I think it's called the aqua loop.
But you hold your hands like this, and the floor
It's a
drops
drop.
out behind
Yeah.
underneath you, and it goes down like so quickly that it actually shoots you up, and then you come back down.
Right. It
But we
was
didn't get
short.
on that one.
Yeah,
But it was
I didn't-
closed like once or twice that we were thinking about
No,
it.
they
but-
opened it. I still wasn't getting on it, but it was like the more intense one, and no, I'm not. And it was the more intense one, and it was short though. Like you wait on this long line, and then it's like 2 seconds, because it's just one big drop, and then you swing around one good time, and
and then
then
you come out at the end.
and you're
so.
done. So that wasn't to me worth the wait, but I do it next time, you know, so I can show it all, so we can put that on camera for everybody. I'll put her in there and lock the door and make them drop the floor. So we have some good footage from that one. So that was the slides. So those were pretty good. I think the slides were sufficient. I could have rode the one with the tube all day.
Yeah, and they had a couple other slides like for younger children and stuff like that, but you know, we didn't go to that area because obviously we didn't have children. So
right. So the next thing I think we want to talk about is the casino, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the Escape, Norwegian Escape's casino? Which you could smoke in, right?
Right, on one side of it, and it's
side.
Separated, and maybe that's why it's separated. It is separated by like the chandelier part is you have to walk around it and you go down kind of like a hallway. But I think the size of it was fine. It was just a little weird that it was separated, but I think it was probably separated for the smoking and the non-smoking.
Mm-hmm. It almost felt like two casinos.
Right.
But it was, they had, you know, all the table games that you can want, blackjack. You know, I like the casino. We both go to the casino locally. Here, we actually live in the Cincinnati area. We probably haven't said that yet. We talked about moving to Atlanta, but we never said where we were already living.
Moving from.
So I'm originally from New York City. She's from Portsmouth, Ohio. And, but together now we're in Cincinnati, and, you know, just to throw that in there real quick. But we frequent casinos here.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
Yeah, and most of the time we just play the slots. But I like some of the table games, so it was cool. Because they had the blackjack, and I don't play blackjack, but they had the blackjack for people that like doing that.
They had craps tables.
Craps table, I like.
Roulette.
The roulette wheel, 3-card poker.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Texas Hold'em style table game.
Yeah, and they had a lot of slots, and just from things that you know, we've heard other people say that they hardly ever win anything on cruise ships, but this time we got lucky. We ended up winning, like coming out ahead by like $130.
I don't know if we came out ahead, but on that game, yeah, on the slots, yeah. Because I played Texas Hold'em. They had a Texas Hold'em tournament that was a satellite to go play in a bigger tournament on the Getaway,
Norwegian Getaway.
Right. So if you won that one, you got a ticket to the Getaway, and it was actually you get a cruise for two on the ship to play in the tournament. So I was kind of, you know, it was $100 buy-in. I wanted to get in it, but it was a rebuy, which basically meant that every time you got knocked out, you could spend another $100 to buy yourself back in within the first hour. And there was people that was rebuying in like crazy. It was crazy.
That you were beating, and then
right, they would still be there. So I had to beat them again and again. You know, so
then they beat you down.
One guy, I don't even want to talk about it. He, you know, played a hand that he shouldn't have played. If you know anything about poker, if you're a real poker player, you know, the way he played would have, you know, he wanted to, you know, but I was, you know, even the dealer looked at me. He basically, you know, rivered me, if you know what that means, with a stupid hand. So
luckily I won some money back on the slots.
I was pissed. But yeah, so she won a little slot money. Did okay in the what's the craps in the beginning, and just stayed too long. And yeah, because I went up a little bit, and then I just kept playing, and you know, people crapped out and stuff. So, but I will play roulette. I will play the craps because I think those two you can actually win some money if you know get lucky. You don't have to worry about, like, to me, slots is too
unregulated.
Yeah. And being out there, they don't
in international waters, there's nothing to regulate it. So
right.
But luckily, we came out with a few dollars. So
the last thing we want to talk about on this particular video is the arcade. And now we both like the old school arcade games. Matter of fact, at Walmart yesterday, I saw like the little mini Galaga, and they had the Pac-Man and the Street Fighter. And, you know, you can buy different ones. Space Invaders, all the old school
Centipede
games. So they had a Galaga sitting there, the little mini one. And because I was in the electronics section, and I sat and played it real quick. Had like a little high score in there. I just played for a little bit, crushed the high score because all these kids, I was telling her, they don't know how to play those games.
And he sent me a picture that he destroyed the high score, of course.
Right, I might pop it into this little thing real quick here so y'all can see it too. But it's these kids, they play Fortnite. That's all they know. You know, run around, shoot 'ems, but skill, hand-eye coordination, they have no idea about this stuff.
Old school games.
The old school games. So yeah. So going into the, you know, segueing that into the arcade on the Norwegian Escape, what did you think?
I personally thought it was just small. There weren't a whole lot of, at least not a lot of games in there that I'm familiar with. It was a lot of like, there was some newer, you know, just newer things, and I think we would have liked it if there had been a little more old school type games in there.
It was crap, basically. It was super small. They even tried to sell us a package, unlimited. How much was it, like
$175.
$175 for unlimited arcade package, where they had like 15 games in there or something. It was super small. None of the classics. You know, I didn't see any Donkey Kong. I'm looking for Donkey Kong, and I know a couple ships that have it on there. And you know, I haven't played it so long. I used to love that game. But the Pac-Mans are fine. The Galagers and all that, Asteroid, Centipede. You know, we go on and on. None of it was in the arcade. None of those games.
We said we would have been so upset if we had a child that we had purchased the unlimited video package for, and they're like, "I'm bored. I've already played them all."
Right. And that crap. I don't know, you better get in there and play that game. But it was small. I wouldn't have paid if I had a kid with us.
No, we went in and played just a couple games, and then we won some tickets and ended up giving to.
Yeah, gave it to some other kid. But that was very disappointing arcade for a kid. You know, they're on a ship. That's something you like to do. I remember as a kid, that was like real cool. Get some tickets and go play some arcade games for a little while. But that arcade, maybe they liked it. I don't know. We didn't like it because of the old school games in there, but maybe they liked it.
And it was just small. There wasn't a lot of choices. So.
Right. All right. So thanks for watching. This is our first of a few reviews on the NCL Escape. We're going to have a little bit more to talk about.
Yeah, we have some more content. So
yeah, so you know, if you like this kind of thing, you know,
make sure you subscribe, like this video, and put the notification bell on. That way you'll see the next time that we post something. And like he said, we're going to do a few more series on our review of the NCL Escape.
Right. You know, we're going to try to. We've been talking about it since we're new at this. We're thinking about maybe trying to do 2 to 3 a week, at least 2 new videos a week. But, you know, since it's not going to be every day, just make sure you hit the notification so that you know when we put them out there. Okay, until the next time.
Make cruising your happy place.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron. Wait. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron.
And I'm Denise.
And together... Hi, everybody. I'm Ron.
And I'm Denise.
And together, we are D&R Travel. I forgot what I was going to say after that. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron.
And I'm Denise.
And today, we're going to do our review of the NCL Escape.
And together, we're D&R Travel, too.
D&R Travel, too. Okay, until the next time.
Make happy.
Make happy.